đăng ký brand với USBTO, tuần theo link thêm, tuần trên Go Scout, Logistics và Warehouse. Xem hình thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.
A lot of the stuff that I covered in some of the past modules can be a little bit time consuming, can be a little bit tedious. In the bulk sheets, you can do things a lot faster because obviously it's in bulk. It's an Excel spreadsheet. You can download everything, make a bunch of optimizations, and then upload it back to Amazon. So it is a better way than actually manually doing things in the campaign manager. So let's jump right in. I'm in campaign manager. First thing I'm going to do is click on this little credit card looking thing. Click on bulk operations. It's going to take me to this page. The date range that you want to download the bulk sheet in is the date range that you are going to be looking at in terms of data. So remember, if we're optimizing, we're skipping 2 days and then going 7 days back, we're going to do the same thing here. So I'm going to skip these 2 days, 25, 26, and go 18 to 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that is the range that I want to look at. Now, there's some things here that are automatically selected where it says exclude. Terminated campaigns. We don't want to look at terminated campaigns. It doesn't help us. Campaigns with campaign items with 0 impressions. This one, you might want to have it or might not. For now, we can exclude it, but if you want to include it to see which campaign items are not getting any impressions, which keywords are not getting any impressions, and so on, you can include it because it might mean that something's wrong. Placement data for campaigns, we obviously want that, so we're not going to exclude it. So we can optimize for placements. Brand assets data, we don't need that right now. It doesn't help us in terms of bulk sheets and optimization. Sponsor product data and brand and display. Obviously, we need all three because we want to optimize our campaigns. Then I'm going to click create a spreadsheet for download. It'll take a while and then it's going to look like this. I just download this right now and I'm going to click on it and open it up. And when I'm done, it's going to say upload your file to update your campaigns. I'm going to click on choose file. You should see the full amount of rows processed successfully. If there are warnings, there's a high chance that it will not process correctly in Amazon. So make sure that you do whatever it takes to get it to upload perfectly. Now, if it has errors, you can download the report, see which rows and which columns exactly were those errors, so you can correct them. So here's the bulk sheet. I already downloaded, and let's increase this so we can see things clearly. Now, I'm going to break down every single column and every single tab. So the first tab is the portfolios. So if you ever want to figure out where your portfolio IDs are, here's all of your portfolio IDs, and here's all your portfolio names. It says here that this is enabled and in budget. So that's all we can see here is the portfolio ID, the name of the portfolio, and then if it's enabled or disabled, and what the budget is, the budget status. Now, I don't think that you can disable portfolios or delete portfolios, so I think it'll always say enabled. Next, we have the sponsored product campaign, sponsored brand campaign, and sponsored display campaign. So in this case, you see I don't have any sponsored display, but I do have sponsored brand and sponsored products. So in sponsored products, the first thing it says is product to sponsored product. This indicates that this is a sponsored product or a sponsored brand type campaign. And you can see here, let me blow this up. Okay. Now, the second one, entity. This right here, and I'm going to highlight in a very light color. This is what constitutes a campaign. So you have the campaign entity, the bidding adjustment, the ad group or ad groups, could be multiple lines, the product ad, which is the SKU that you're advertising, and then the keyword that you're advertising. So that's kind of all that what a campaign is made up of. If we go to the next one, skip that one, and then just so you can kind of see things clearly. This is the next one, right? And you can identify because it goes from campaign to campaign. This is another campaign, and you can see it's made up of a campaign line, bidding adjustments, an ad group line, a product ad line, the multiple product targets that we're targeting, so multiple ASINs, and then negative product targeting. So if there's negative keywords, they also show here. So all of your information for one campaign is all hosted right here. Operation I will attach a link to the different operations that you can do, and it's a sheet from Amazon. But basically, for our cases, anytime we're making a change, we want to have update. There's update, there's create, and there's a couple others in there. I suggest that you read the sheet because it explains exactly how to use the new bulk sheets format. But for now, all we need to do is just have that update keyword in operation. And what that's going to do is every single time we make a change, as long as we indicate that this is an update, Amazon will read this line, read the word update, and then make the necessary changes. If it doesn't see the word update, it's probably not going to reflect the changes. Campaign ID is just the unique campaign identifier. Same thing with ad group and portfolio. Ad ID, again, is just the identification of the ad, keyword, product targets. So all of these read-only, not really necessary for us, right? Because they're just read-only, but they can help us sometimes when we're trying to sort through things. Next up is the campaign name. You'll notice that the campaign name is on the campaign level right here. And then the ad group name is on the ad group level. So this is where the campaign name is. And if you want to change the campaign name, you can do it right here and make sure you select update. For ad group name, same exact thing. Next, these are informational only. So you have the campaign name, the ad group name, the portfolio name. And you'll see that instead of the campaign name being on the campaign level, it's now across all levels. And this is a beautiful feature because if we highlight everything, click sort and filter, and then filter, what I can do is I can sort by a certain campaign or a certain portfolio, which before you couldn't do that. Before you'd have to actually have really good nomenclature, and then you can sort by campaign name, and I would sort by like HBR, for example, and any campaign that included HBR. Now I can actually sort directly by portfolio, and I can show only campaigns for a certain portfolio. This is really useful because let's say that you're launching a product versus have a mature product. When you're launching a product, there's going to be different criteria. When you have a mature product, there's going to be different criteria. So it's nice to be able to separate everything by the different products. Next, we have the start date. This is the start date of the campaign. End date. If the campaign has an end date, this would be the end date. The targeting type here is either manual or auto. And in this case, I guess we don't have any auto campaigns turned on. But this is where you're going to see it's either manual or automatic. Status is enabled. This is also a really good one. If you want to go through all of the paused items in your campaigns, you can. But the status here will tell you if it's enabled or paused. And if I want to pause a certain keyword or something, let's say I wanted to take this product ad and I want to pause it, right? Let's say I have multiple SKUs and that's where the product ads are, and I want to pause it, I can just click pause right here. Type in pause, right here. So next up, there is the campaign status and ad group status, just as informational. This is great if I want to remove anything that's paused, only focus on what's enabled. Daily budget, another very easy way to sort through budgets. And I'm going to cover that at the end when we start actually doing optimizations. Right now, I just want to kind of break down what everything means, but there's a very fast way to optimize budgets. Here's the daily budget of the campaign, and here's the SKU. Now, SKU is the stock keeping unit. It's the unique identifier for your product. You can have the same ASIN with multiple SKUs, and as long as this SKU is included in the campaign, you will be advertising for that product. As soon as that SKU is not included anymore, or let's say that you launch a new SKU, you start sending inventory to a new SKU, and you forget to add it in the campaigns, you might not have any sales because that SKU isn't being advertised for. So you want to make sure that you include the SKU, and what you can do, here's a quick hack, is you can always copy this and then add it. Just copy right here, copy, and then insert it right here, and now you're going to have another SKU. As long as you keep the same campaign ID, ad group ID, delete the ad ID, and here you can say create. Then you can go all the way down, and where it has the SKU, you can put the new SKU. So maybe the new SKU is V2. Next, the ASIN. So ASIN is obviously the ASIN, and you can very easily identify based on the ASIN what are the SKUs that are running. Add group default bid. This is the bid that Amazon will default to if you forget to select the bid at the keyword level. It's obviously not recommended that you don't select the bid at the keyword level. However, have something somewhat reasonable here, because if something happens, you delete a bid by accident, you want it to default to a good number, which is, in this case, 4 is fine. This is a branded campaign. Again, this is informational only, but this is the add group default bid. It's exactly the same as this. Now, this is the actual bid for the keyword. So this is the bid, this is the keyword, and this is the match type. And here's where we can update bids. And again, I'll show you a very fast way on how to identify all keywords, optimize their bids very, very quickly. This is the keyword, match type, all self-explanatory. Now here, these are the bidding strategies, either down only, up, down, or fixed bids. So it's just informational for you to know. Placements, again, the two placements that you can affect are product page and top of search. And right here is where you can add different percentages. Just make sure that every time you make a change to click update on the affected fields. Product targeting expression will show when it's not a keyword, it's an ASIN. And as you can see here, there was a keyword, here there's no longer a keyword, there's an ASIN. And now here are the rest of the metrics. So impressions, clicks, click-through rate, which is nice that they now calculate click-through rate for us. Spend, sales, orders, units. Let me open this up. Conversion rate, ACOS, CPC, and ROAS. It's cost per click. This is all great because, by the way, conversion rate can be changed into a percentage. This is amazing, right? Because this really helps us filter through the different keywords, and we can make decisions very quickly. So now that I've broken down a bulk sheet, how do we actually use it? So there's 3 things that we're going to do in this bulk sheet. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to optimize the bids. Second thing we're going to do is we're going to optimize the budgets. And the third thing we're going to do is optimize the placements. So I'm going to go all the way to the beginning, and where it says entity, I am going to select only keywords and product targets. So now the only thing that I'm seeing here is keywords and product targets. Next, I'm going to do it for only one product. So instead of going here, I'm going to select, let's say, Hydrolite Blue Raz. And now I'm only doing this for one product because the criteria for this product are different than the other products, and I don't want to capture all of the products, right? I want to just do it for this product. Everything is enabled, that's fine, right? If it's paused, I would just remove it, or inspect why it's paused. Maybe it shouldn't be paused. Now here are the keywords, and here is the metrics. And for ACOS, I'm going to click on the filter here and click on descending. So now it's sorted my ACOS from largest to smallest. And I can see my bids, I can see my keywords. So one thing that I like to do is I like to color code things, and it makes life so much easier when working, when working with bids and optimizing. So let's say that first thing is I'm gonna actually jump back and remove the portfolio limit, because I want to see a lot of the keywords, and I want to make it easy for you guys to understand. So I'm going to click on ACOS. I'm going to sort by descending again. Now, let's say that my break-even point is 30%. What I'm going to do is highlight everything above 30%, and I'm going to color code it in this color. Anything above 30%, let's say I'm going to leave, from 30 to 15, kind of blank. I'm going to leave it uncolored. 13 and below, up to 0% ACOS, right here. I'm going to color that in light green. Next, I want to sort by spend and no sales. So I'm going in here. Spend is column AK. So I'm going to here. Sort and filter, custom sort. My list has headers. I'm going to uncheck that. Click on column AK. Largest to smallest. So now it's sorting by spend from largest to smallest, but no ACOS, right? So this is spend, but no ACOS. And again, anything that's spent over $10, let's see. anything that's spent over $10. So let's start from here and didn't make any sales. I'm gonna highlight it in like another color, yellow, right? So now I know this spent money and didn't make any sales. And then I can also go here, highlight everything and sort by impressions, which is AH. Gonna custom sort, column AH, largest to smallest. There it goes. Now it's organized from the largest amount of impressions to the lowest. And I will say anything under 295 impressions, that's not getting enough impressions. So I can highlight it in a blue color. And now that my bulk sheet is color coded, it's very easy for me to understand what's going on. This one has a high ACOS. This one doesn't matter, right? Because it's white. Let's go here. High ACOS, white, low ACOS, high spend and no sales, nothing, low impressions. And this makes it very easy to work with the spreadsheet instead of kind of having to always go look back and forth. And you can color code these in intervals if you want. But the color coding makes it very easy for you to associate what you're going to do with those keywords, like what type of action it's going to be. Next, there's a few columns I want to add here for bids. Now we're getting really into the bid optimization. And so I'm going to add the cost per click column. We already have a cost per click column, so I'm just going to go equals and then click on cost per click here. So this is just going to quickly populate the data from the cost per click column that we already have. Let's go back. Okay. Next up, I am going to add a couple other columns. One of them is going to be main sales or percent of sales driven. And the final one is going to be the new max bid. Okay. Now, for the percent of sales driven, the equation is equals sales divided by subtotal 9, which means sum, comma. I'm going to select all of the sales, right? And you want to freeze that row so it doesn't move as you move down. So you have to put put it in the wrong spot. Let's go back again. $, $, $. Now I'm going to copy this down to the rest. And I'm going to make it a percentage. So what is percent sales driven? This number basically means that 21% of all of the sales of my campaigns were generated from this keyword. 14% of all of the sales have been generated by this keyword. 14% of all of the sales have been generated by this keyword. And this is really important to understand because when we're optimizing our bids, we don't want to optimize too drastically for keywords that are driving a lot of sales. So when you look at your campaigns and you find certain keywords driving a majority of the sales, it's not that you don't want to optimize them or lower the bids, you just have to be a lot more cautious, because being kind of careless and optimizing the bids, lowering them by 20, 30 cents, you could end up losing a big portion of your sales, which could hurt you a lot. And it's not as easy as you lower the bid and then increase it back up, because as soon as you lose those sales, sometimes it's very, very hard to get them back and get back to where you were. Now, remember, we have to go all the way at the beginning right here where it says operation and click update and type that keyword in wherever we've made any changes. So you can just figure out where you've added a new max bid and you can just go back here and click the word update. If you don't, then it's not going to reflect the changes. So now we're done with the bid optimization, and we've basically highlighted the different segments. These ones we want to lower the bids. These ones, the green ones, increase the bids or keep them the same. These ones are spend and no sales, so let's lower the bids. And these ones you want to increase the bids because they're not getting enough traction. Now let's look at budgets. So we'll go all the way to the beginning where it says entity, and we're going to select campaigns. remove keywords, remove product targeting. Now, these are the campaigns that I have running right now. What I can do is, again, go all the way to the end, where my metrics are, right here, and sort by ACOS descending. Now, all of these campaigns, let's say anything under 30% is really good for me. So all these campaigns, I can take this, highlight them in green. Now I know I want to increase the bids for these campaigns because I'm seeing that they're generating really good results. So all I need to do is go here and increase the budgets. So this can be 200, this can be 200, this can be 400. So 200, 400, and we can make this 200. But that's pretty much it. That's how we can change and update the budgets for a bunch of different campaigns very quickly and at scale. So I was able to very quickly identify, here's all of my campaigns, sort them by ACOS, ones that are doing really good, identify them, highlight them in green, make them easy for me to find them, and then update the daily budget. And that's it. Now, the final piece that I want to touch on is placements. I'm going to jump back in, go to entity type, and here I'm going to select bidding adjustment. Remove campaign. These are the bidding adjustments. Now, unfortunately, we cannot just go here and sort by ACOS. And the reason is you need to get a full picture of what's going on. The bulk sheet, actually, the new bulk sheet doesn't give the full picture of what's going on. The only place that's going to give the full picture of what's going on is the placement report. And the reason that you need the full picture is you're going to get data on the top of search first page. You're going to get data on the product pages. But in this new bulk sheet, you're not going to get information on rest of search. So you could look at your top of search, but your rest of search could bring you a much higher ROAS and it could be driving a lot of sales. You wouldn't know. So that's kind of one of the downsides to looking at things here. But again, you want to go and identify which placements are working very well for you and are performing really well. And you can increase the bid by placement. Again, it's a test. We don't know if it's going to work out. It could work out. It could not work out. And remember, if it doesn't work out, we always go back in and we scale it back down. But anyways, I'm in here and I'm identifying, okay, here is a campaign, right? Let's highlight it here. I'm going to highlight it in like a bright yellow color. 9.6% ACOS. So that's a very good ACOS. Now let's look here. This is on the product pages. And I can go ahead and say, I want to change this to 50. So I'm willing, let's see how much the cost per click is right now. Cost per click is $2.70. So I could say, I'm willing to do 50% more of that. So equals 270 times 1.5. I'm willing to spend $4 if that means I'm going to show up on the top of the search. Why? Well, maybe because I got one click and I immediately got a sale and I had a 100% conversion rate. That's pretty high. And it might have happened because I was on the top of the search. So I'm just willing to bet some money and put some money down saying I'll spend more to show up for that position because based on the data, I converted well. When you look at the percentage of sales driven, make sure that ones that are driving a lot of sales, you're not over optimizing. It's too sensitive. It might be risky to change or lower the bids too much. And then from there, you can kind of look at your keywords, look at the ACOS, look at the bids, change the bids a little bit, and make sure that you have that update keyword every single time you create an update so Amazon can capture it. And then once you upload it back to Amazon, you'll know if there's any errors. If there's not, that's great. And that's how you optimize in bulk sheets.
Anh chị đang bán hàng trên Amazon. Scout cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USBTO, từ Talent, từ trên Scout, Biết và Warehouse. Xem thêm thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.